Yeah, we've got some numbers that we're going to put up for you and have a look at these for a start. And this is Bangalore's bowlers. Now, often we talk about adjusting up or adjusting down. Some teams have moved from Mumbai to Chennai. Hasn't been easy. We've seen that. What about moving the other way around vis-a-vis this, Pommie?
Yeah, look, I've thought about that, and Shaun is alluding to it a little bit there in terms of, adjusting things as bowlers with regard to where you bowl on the surface. What it has been in Mumbai is it's been a hitting fest. It's been, true wicket that bounces nicely where if you don't quite get it right and you're trying to use the wicket, you're going to get whacked out the ground. Even when you do bowl slow balls, if you've got a guy who's set and is in, it's pretty difficult to contain it. I think, therefore, that, the deliveries that will probably, if you bowl them right, and this should be the proviso that goes with absolutely everything we say, is if you get it right, if you execute well enough, if you go for deliveries such as Yorkers, and whether you're going straight Yorker, wide Yorker, I think you'd be more successful, sort of cut out a side of the ground, try and make batsmen hit to a certain area. They can clear the fence, there's no question about that. So I expect that, the difficulty just gets more and more if you're bowlers coming from Chennai and going to Mumbai.
Exactly. I mean, it's just the opposite for batsmen. And I'm in the company of two gentlemen who spent plenty of time with ball in hand. Shaun, assuming you were in Mumbai, bowling at the death, even when you're bowling against a guy like Pat Cummins. I mean, it's one thing to have an A.B. de Villiers or a Glenn Maxwell or a Kohli set, but a Pat Cummins comes in, with all due respect to his batting ability, he starts hitting you for 30 in and over. You know that it's a difficult place to bowl.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, we often see it in Test cricket, don't we? We'll see a partnership by 9 and 10 or 10 and 11. And people go, oh, look how well they did. And you sort of think, well, maybe just the conditions were really good. Maybe they've got a little bit better. Maybe it's got easier for batting. And there's no doubt. I mean, we've seen Cummins over the years. He has that ability to strike. But to be able to strike so consistently, to be able to put them under pressure like he did, and then not on the back of Dreras. I mean, he just decided, second ball, I'm going to go. He didn't miss hit one, did he? I mean, he basically, every time he went after it, the only mistake he made was leaving the ball that hit his stumps. But it was one of those kind of surfaces, and very rarely do you get them in T20s or in one-day international career where you walk in your side, I'm going to pull the trigger. And when you do pull that trigger, it just seems like nothing can go wrong. And no matter what they tried, all the variations, the dew played its part. I think it is going to be tough going, and that's why I'm wondering how the Bangalore team will adjust. I think the key too for me is Chahal. I saw what he did the other night, and he seems to be finding some form. He's hit a bit of a lull. I mean, been left out a lot of the Indian teams. You can see he's lacking in that confidence. But funny enough for me, I've always looked at him as a bowler who actually bowls better on more difficult conditions for leg spinners than he does on ripping turners. He's that kind of guy who just likes to hit it straight, get it to skid on, attack the stumps, and not necessarily a big turner of the ball. So I think he'll go better. We saw in Bangalore over the years how good a player he's been for them on those conditions, which are really difficult to bowl on. Small ground, altitude, and the guy's just able to hit through. So I think he's going to be a big player in the middle over today.